who can belt out the country tunes. Well, there's another reality show out there for you. Nashville stars in its 4th season on the USA Network, and starting tomorrow night, you can help choose which star stays, which contest gets the country boot off this Idol Gone Country hit TV show. 5-time Grammy Award winner Wynonna is co-hosting this season, and it's good to see you again, Wynonna.
It's good to be out.
It's good to be anywhere, isn't it?
That's right.
Now, what attracted you to doing this show?
I celebrate 23 years this year, and it's time for me to sort of be the sister mommy for the next generation. Tammy Wynette, Loretta Lynn, Dolly all took me under their wing, gave me advice. You know, we're losing our history, or I should say herstory. And I think it's important to remind the youngsters, I can say that now I'm 40.
The youngsters.
The youngsters of the history of country music. Let us not forget where we come from. So I'm there to sort of be a mentor, if you will.
And you're co-hosting this year with Cowboy Troy. That's got to be a certain amount of energy with that.
There's a lot of energy because, first of all, he's a black rapping country music cowboy. What are the chances? We couldn't be any more different, but it works because of the spirit aspect. The two of us are sort of like, he's like the brother I never really wanted, but I'm glad I discovered.
As in the brother or the brother?
The brother. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Depends on what state you're in, I guess.
I guess so.
But it's awesome because we are celebrating country music. I mean, let's face it, we have an incredible opportunity to give someone an RCA contract. And Nashville Star is, I mean, it's like the first real job I've had in a while. You know, I go to work at 11 o'clock in the morning, I go home at 8. I'm home at night for dinner, and it's awesome.
And you've got celebrity judges this year, rotating cast.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, Big and Rich, which doesn't get much bigger than that.
Yeah, they're out of control, and I love it. We've got a lot of people sitting in: Gretchen Wilson, Sarah Evans, Kenny Rogers, Hank Williams Jr. Sort of the the traditional versus the edgy, and that's what country music is nowadays. Nashville Star is about community. It's about heart. It's about fellowship and celebration. It's not just a contest or a freak show. This is about the music of everyday life.
In fact, you mentioned the freak show aspect of like that other show, which shows the auditions and kind of revels in some of the hardness of some of these singers. You don't do that.
Well, we've always enjoyed, throwing people to the lions. I mean, I think there's a certain amount of people love a good contest, but we forget. There are people's lives at stake.
Right.
You know, there are families in the audience. People are showing up to support these artists that want to make it. And I've been there. I see myself in all of the contestants. There are several of them that I really relate to because they have stars in their eyes. They're very young. I was 18 when I signed with RCA, and I just feel like this is like winning the lottery.
Right.
The musical lottery. Plus they write songs. There's real artistry here. And so Nashville is very proud to host this. And I'm really blessed. I feel like after 23 years I'm still here. What a miracle. So
to switch gears a little bit, you mentioned at the beginning it's good to be out, and I know you've recently announced that you were in a treatment center for addiction, for food addiction.
Yes.
It's something I can relate to.
6 weeks, baby.
What was it that made you finally decide, I've got to get this under control, I've got to put myself into an addiction rehab center?
Well, insanity, what is that? Doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results. This is a disease. And I was finally able to realize this is not a moral issue. I'm not a loser. I have a disease. I have an addiction. And food for me is like alcohol to the alcoholic. And I know you can relate, I'm sure, on some level.
Absolutely.
Over 85% of America is obese. We have a pandemic. Our children, I mean, don't get me started. We need a whole nother hour. I just think it's time for me to really put myself back on that list. I've done Oprah several times. I've talked about it. Talk is cheap. I got to walk the walk. And I walked myself down to Buffalo Gap, Texas for 6 weeks in a treatment center and gave up complete power, said I'm powerless, I need help. And that's hard to do, but I did it. And for 6 weeks, it was all about learning about this disease.
And how are you doing now?
I'm doing awesome. 1 out of 3 people have disordered eating. And I'm on a mission to teach our youngsters especially that they are so much more than a number on a scale.
Well, good luck with that, because
I'm going global.
Yeah, because unlike alcohol, you can stay away from drinking.
Right.
With a food addiction, you have to eat.
I've exchanged relationships for food. I know that you realize that you have to do other things.
Right.
I would rather be known in my recovery than isolate in my disease, and that's why I went on Larry King and talked about it, because there's a tabloid story, and the Judds believe in, fighting fire with fire. So I thought, what the heck, I'm going to go out there and be honest and be vulnerable and be real and hope for a miracle. So stay tuned.
No.
Here I am.
We hope you get it, Wynonna.
And good for you. Taking care of yourself.
Thank you. All right. Don't forget, Season 4.
Tomorrow night.
A Nashville Star
Bring
debuts
it
tomorrow
on.
night at 10, 9 Central on the USA Network. And still ahead, we've got your emails about the Mommy Wars. That's after these messages.